So which of these cameras right here is the best one for you? By the time you reach the end of the video today, you will have the answer to that question. In this video, I'm going to go through a bunch of different similarities and differences between these two cameras, and I'm going to show you a whole bunch of footage that I captured on both cameras with various filming scenarios so that you can see how each of these cameras performs. Each of us as creators have different features that we value in cameras, and both of these cameras are very capable cameras with different strengths and weaknesses. But before we get into those comparisons, really quick, just a rundown of what these two cameras have in common. First of all, both can deliver high quality video. Both are capable of filming in up to 8K 30 frames per second, with the key difference being the Insta360 X5 can capture that 8K footage in a 360-degree mode, whereas the Ace Pro 2 records 8K 30 frames per second in a standard mode. The second similarity these cameras have is they both use advanced AI technology to deliver the finished product. Both have the cutting-edge Insta360 AI processing, and the X5 features a triple chip system, and the Ace Pro 2 features a dual chip system. These AI systems are used to enhance stabilization, reduce noise, and enhance low light performance. And speaking of low light performance, both of these cameras are designed to do well in low lighting, and they utilize a mode called pure video mode. So if you want to get the very best footage in low lighting, which I'm going to show you several samples, pure video mode is going to be the way to go. Both cameras have a rugged waterproof design. In other words, both of these cameras are built for action, and both of them can go underwater to a certain depth. The X5 can go down to about 15 meters, and the Ace Pro 2 can go down to about 12 meters. Both cameras feature Insta360's flow state stabilization, which help you capture smooth footage even during intense action. Both cameras have a touchscreen interface, and that touchscreen on both of them is about 2.5 inches in size. On the Ace Pro 2, you of course can flip up the touchscreen so that you can see it, which is a very handy feature. And finally, both cameras have lenses that are co-engineered with Leica. And if you're not familiar with Leica, Leica is a company that has a legendary reputation for great image quality. Now, of course, these two cameras do have many differences, and obviously the key difference is the Insta360 X5 is a 360 camera, but the Ace Pro 2 is not a 360 camera. The Ace Pro 2 is more of a traditional action camera with a single wide-angle lens. And of course, the biggest difference between these cameras is the workflow after you capture the footage. With the 360 camera, you're not necessarily framing your footage while you're capturing, but you'll do the reframing later on, either using the Insta360 Studio app on your computer or the Insta360 app on your phone. But with the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, that footage is going to be there for you to pull out of your camera and do more of a traditional editing workflow. So let's get into those comparisons now. Now, in each of these side-by-side comparisons, it's important to note that I had the settings as similar as possible or identical on both cameras as much as possible. In this first round of test here, I'm showing you 8K 24 footage from both cameras side by side, and for the X5, I have it mounted here side by side with the Ace Pro 2. So the footage I'm showing you on the X5 is going to be from this lens right here, which is facing in the same direction as this. And of course, don't forget that the X5 does have single lens mode, and I'll have some comparisons for you with that as well. But when I captured these tests, I kept all of the exposure settings auto on both of these cameras, and the color mode is also set to standard. Next, let's take a look at the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 side by side with the single camera mode on the X5. And it is worth noting that the single camera mode on the X5 can go up to 4K 60, but of course the single camera mode, which is the Ace Pro 2 by default, can go up to 8K 30. Next, let's see how the built-in mic does on both of these cameras. Both cameras have a built-in mic that offers vocal enhancement mode, and for these tests, I turned on the vocal enhancement mode so that you can theoretically hear the very best these cameras have to offer with vocal built-in mic capabilities. So this is a test in 8K 24 on both cameras, and specifically I'm testing the built-in mic. So both cameras do have a built-in mic and both have the vocal enhancement mode. So right now I've got it in vocal enhancement, so you can hear how the sound comes straight out of the camera. The audio has not been edited or modified in any way. This audio is straight out of both of these cameras. This is also a good test of the visual quality with the cameras when I have the sun behind me. That's not exactly a strength for a camera. See how both of these cameras do when they're pointing toward the sun. Next, let's take a look at the TimeShift capabilities. Both of these cameras are capable of capturing a time shift, which is essentially a time lapse where you're in motion with the cameras. Speaking of time shifts, let's see how both of these cameras do with time lapses. So these time lapses were both filmed with each camera on a tripod, stationary. So how about slow motion capabilities? For the Ace Pro 2, I have this set to 4K 60 frames per second, and for the X5, I have this set to 5.7K 60 frames per second. Next, let's take a look at the photo capabilities. Both of these cameras have the ability to capture very high megapixel photos, which allows you a lot of flexibility later on. You can zoom in quite a bit on them and still have a good looking sharp photo. Next, let's take a look at these cameras in low light. So for both of these cameras, I used the pure video mode, and then I had all of the other settings in that set to auto. So I let both cameras adjust the ISO, the shutter speed, and the white balance. And since capabilities in low light seems to be something that a lot of you are interested in, I did try to film several samples with this. Some of them are filmed at dusk, and then some of them are filmed about an hour after dusk. And some things to watch for in low light is to see how well the camera handles stabilization. It's easy to get jitter and ghosting in footage if the camera doesn't properly adjust the shutter speed. And then another thing to watch for is noise. So with these cameras, this footage is straight out of the camera. I did no noise adjustment. It's exactly as it came from the camera. And of course, price is another consideration when selecting a camera. So currently the Insta360 X5 is $549 US, and the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 is $399 US. And of course, that price difference accounts for the different capabilities that the X5 has that the Ace Pro 2 does not have, of course. 360-degree cameras have additional flexibility that you can't get with a standard action camera. But the trade-off is the standard action camera, of course, costs $150 less than the X5. So after seeing all those samples and evaluating the similarities and differences between these cameras, my hope is that you have a much better idea now of which of these cameras is right for you. And I've linked to both of these cameras in the description below, as well as the Insta360 accessories site. Insta360 does sell a lot of great accessories for both of these cameras, and I love the accessories and how they enhance the filming experience with both of these cameras.